we are now getting our closest look yet at the extent of the damage. It is simply overwhelming. In hard-hit Sendai, a city of 1 million people, police say they found as many as 300 bodies washed up on the beach. As the tsunami hit the city's airport, new video said to be from inside the terminal shows frightened passengers watching the waves wash away a parking lot full of cars. Japan's prime minister toured the quake zone Saturday, where fires are still raging out of control. The torrents of water that swept through these towns left nothing but misery behind. This woman said, "We tried to escape by car, but were caught in the waves and were washed away here." Rescue workers are still hoping to save those trapped in the rubble, and the Japanese government is sending at least 50,000 troops to help. But they can't reach some of the most heavily damaged areas. People are desperate for basic necessities.
Where an earthquake had struck. In the 2nd century AD, a new invention provided him that crucial information. It was a 6-foot-wide bronze seismoscope, an ingenious device invented by mathematician and astronomer Cheng Hung. There were 8 dragons, one for each principal point on a compass. Each dragon held a bronze ball in its mouth. When the earth shook, the dragon facing the direction of the quake dropped its ball into the mouth of the toad below, alerting the palace. No one is sure how the interior of the seismoscope worked, but most experts believe an inverted pendulum at the heart of the mechanism controlled the dragon's jaws. The vibration swung the pendulum in the direction of the quake, which then triggered the dragon's mouth to open and drop the ball. Except one March night in 138 AD, the ball dropped when no one had felt a quake. Chang's invention was labelled a failure. Several days later, when a messenger arrived to tell of a massive quake which had devastated Kansu, about 400 miles to the northwest, they realised how sensitive Cheng Hung's invention was. From that time on, if a ball dropped, even if no one felt the quake, local officials were sent out to
Biological processes, animals, seem to be sensitive to certain frequencies of electromagnetic radiation. And these frequencies are capable of traveling around the world with very little what we call attenuation or decrease. So it's theoretically possible that some of these signals from a very, very large earthquake could reach the other side of the Earth and perhaps influence all the animals on Earth simultaneously, not just the ones in Los Angeles.
Days before the tsunami. In this area, there are many squirrels and gibbons. They're used to humans, and the gibbons would often come all the way down to the main office. But during these 4 or 5 days, right before the tsunami happened, the gibbons stopped coming. They just disappeared. I admit that I didn't pay much attention at the time. I didn't really notice. For the next couple of weeks, I was very busy with lots of cleanup work to do. But my staff reported to me that for about 15 days after the tsunami, the gibbons stayed away. But then they started to come back. So they're back now. But they're more careful. They won't come down to the ground anymore. They just stay safely up in the trees.
You put it in your bag. Some weird clouds, man.
Yeah, but back in 1915 or so, they introduced a bubbling valve that made the water fountains bubble.
Strange
Early 1900s, I think 1950, something like that.
Yeah, because I find some use. These are some weird clouds, dude. They look like rivulets of liquid floating in the sky. They're so strange. Look at that.